Hello there. What's going on, everybody? We're doing an Armada build today. I've had a couple of people, talk to me about recently getting into the game, and I want to do a starter build. I'm going to be using Ryan Kingston's Fleet Builder. I will put a link in the description below. But I figured I'd come to you with a starter fleet build for something like Star Wars Armada. And, the idea here is like something that kind of shows you a little bit about how the game plays, something that's not too hard to play. But that you can also possibly do pretty well with. Before I jump into the whole build, I do want to let you guys know that there's a big new giveaway going on all month long for a $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment. It's as simple as that. And that's running all month long. So to start off, I figured, you know what, we should probably go with a Star Destroyer. And I'm going to go with an Imperial 2 from the regular Imperial Star Destroyer version. Of course, a lot of this stuff is going to be subject to availability, of course. But I just kind of want to give you guys like standard, great stuff. So, we're gonna go with an Imperial 2. And this is a good, starter ship because, well, it's got the defensive upgrade, the defensive retrofit. And what we're going to add to that is we're going to add electronic countermeasures. That's just a staple, like one of the best in slot for your defensive retrofit. And so we're going to add that there. That's going to stop somebody from being able to accuracy your lone brace. It's going to keep you alive an awful lot longer. We're also going to put what's pretty much a staple on that Imperial Star Destroyer, and that's going to be Gunnery Team. So this way we can fire out of that front arc 2 times. Gunnery Team is going to be really important here. And we're also going to give this one, I'm going to give it, oh gosh, it's as much as I like, a lot of different things, like H9s are really good a lot of times. But I'm going to go with XI7 in this case. I'm going to go with XI7s just to help stop your opponent from trying to redirect. The XI7s have always been really good. They're still really good. Just they're not used all the time as much because there are some better cards out there. But XI7 is going to be a good way to show you just how strong that card is, and I really like it. Now we're going to put an ion cannon slot on here. Also, we're going to go with leading shots. We're going to get some reroll ability from leading shots, and one of the other things that's great about leading shots is because we're not going to be using Darth Vader as our commander, so we're going to really need that. We are definitely going to need that. And it's also going to work with our anti-squadron ability too. That's a nice thing about the Imperial 2. We're going to make this our flagship as well, and I'm going to put some ties in this particular build. So we're going to go with Admiral Sloane. Sloane is going to work very well for TIE fighters. And we want this to be a kind of a well-rounded, all-comers type of build, and Sloane is pretty much good with, if you're using squadrons. We are going to use some squadrons. We'll save some points for that. We're not necessarily going to go completely max on squadrons, but we'll have a good amount. Next thing I want to do is another classic, awesome Imperial ship, and that's going to be a Gladiator Demolisher. The Gladiator Demolisher is so darn good. We got to pick a Gladiator 1. You pretty much always run a Gladiator 1 with this. You want the 4 black on the side. You don't want red dice. You want black dice because you're going to get your rerolls through your through your weapons team here, and we're going to put ordnance experts on there. That's going to give us our rerolls, and then we're going to turn on our special. I'm going to go with assault protons here. They're a little bit cheaper. They're going to give us a little bit more points left over for squadrons, and then we've got assault protons, we've got demolisher, we've got ordnance experts, and we can put one more thing on there, and that's going to be engine techs. Now, engine techs used to be really great with demolisher, but this is you're going to have to do your demolisher secondary attack after you move, but the first time you won't be able to like engine techs and then do your attack after that second move, but it still lets you close the distance, makes you very fast, and makes you a very serious threat to cross the board very quickly. Love this. So this is and these are both kind of very staple builds, very synonymous with like the early days of Armada and how a lot of this stuff would get run. Okay, so, and I think most of this is all from the core set through Wave 2, so, well, except for Sloane. Sloane is newer. Sloane is certainly newer. And I think I'm going to go with a Gozanti class cruiser for our third ship. This may be, I don't know if I'll do another ship on top of this, because I think I'll just go with a 3-ship build. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and add maybe an officer to the Imperial Star Destroyer. Maybe we'll add somebody like a strategic advisor. So this way we can now stall and, kind of take the place of an extra officer. Now for the Gazanti here, what we're going to do is we're going to probably, since this is going to be giving out some commands also, we could put slicer tools, give you a little bit of how nasty a Gazanti could be. We could put CommsNet, which is pretty much the most universal thing. I think if you're a newer player, CommsNet will be good because you can pass out some tokens and kind of get a feel for, a little bit of error correction if like, I needed to engineer, but I can pass a token over with Gazanti, so it kind of gives you a little bit of new player protection there, and that you can pass some tokens around, and that's certainly a useful thing. Plus, it can give guys extra tokens to activate squadrons. So right now we're looking at, we can activate 4 squadrons here, 2 squadrons here, so that's 6. And potentially even 2 from the Gladiator, although I don't expect the Gladiator is going to be running squadron commands. So you're probably looking at 4, 5, 6, maybe 7, 8 if you've got squadron tokens laying around. So with that in mind, let's add 8 TIE fighters. I think that's a pretty good amount. We could do some fancier stuff, like we could go with 7 and add Howl Runner in there. That is a pretty good amount. We could change this up a little bit more if we wanted to. We certainly have enough points to just keep going with squadrons. We could fill it out with some rogues, but they're not going to really complement with Sloane's ability as much. Considering we have about 50 points left over, there's a couple of options that we have at this point. We could look at maybe upgrading the Gazanti to a full-blown Quasar. All right, we could do that. That would get us enough points left over to upgrade the Quasar and have a more dedicated carrier. We might even have enough points left over to increase our squadron amount. Actually kind of like that idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the Gazanti at this point, and I'm going to change it over to a Quasar. As much as I do like the Gazanti. I'm going to go with the Quasar Fire 2, which gives us our red anti-squadron die. And we will put, we want to be able to activate squadrons from very far away. So I will go ahead and put, you can activate friendly squadrons. Yes, right, yes. That boosted comms. I'll put flight controllers on there. And that gives us an extra blue die to all of these. So now these guys are going to be really, really deadly. We could drop that strategic advisor now and instead give us, there's a lot to be said for putting ruthless strategists on a Quasar Fire 2. I really, really like that one, especially with that red squadron die. There's also, you can potentially go with Admiral Chirano, although he's awfully, awfully expensive. So I don't know if I necessarily want to go with him. We could, let's go, a lot of times I plan these ahead. This one was kind of on the fly. I'm going to give it Pursuant as a title. So in case we ever lose our squadron command, we can get our squadron command put right back on, whether it's a slicer tool from an enemy ship, or we just decide we need to engineer this one turn. And that'll give us enough to put Ruthless Strategists on there. And that's our Quasar Fire 2. Now we've got 4 squadrons. We got 4 and 4, which is 8, and we happen to have 8, so we are looking good there. The big weakness in this is that we do not have intel. So we could maybe drop something and put intel on there. We could drop maybe engine text is good, but it's not absolutely mandatory. So we could. This is kind of where you kind of look to your list and you fine tune it a little bit. But this is, if this is a good starter build. Sometimes you'll go up against builds that are light on squadrons, and here even if you are heavy on squadrons, your squadrons are going to have a lot of firepower because Howl Runner is going to be giving these TIE fighters an extra die, so they're going to be rolling 4. With Swarm, if you're activating them from the Quasar, you're going to be rolling 5 blue with a reroll. So I think you're gonna blow away a lot of enemy squadrons very, very easily. And then the Quasar Fire 2 can then fire with that red die. Activate Ruthless Strategists, deal 1 damage to a TIE fighter here, 1 damage to a TIE fighter there, to put more damage on those pesky squadrons that are getting in your way. I think this is a pretty well-rounded, not too powerful, but well-rounded list to give you an idea of big, nasty ships, fast, really strong damagey ships, and really good carriers, and some squadron play all at once. Of course, Sloane is going to be giving you all kinds of extra bonuses with those squadrons. You are able to reroll crits, or if you're actually able to attack ships, you're going to be able to use those accuracies to spend their defense tokens, which is going to be really, really useful. And for all of this stuff, well, as much as I like to put advanced gunnery on, sometimes with an ISD, it's not going to work with gunnery team. So as far as which objectives to take, this one I don't really have the best answer. I would have gone with most wanted if we were going to stay with a Gazanti. And we could certainly drop the Quasar, put 2 Gazantis in and more squadrons, and that might make most wanted a little bit better. But in this case, this is actually a tough one because we're so well-rounded. There's not a whole lot that really, really helps us here. I do kind of like, let's see, we've got blockade. No, I don't want that. Close, the intel scan, that wouldn't necessarily be terrible. That wouldn't be that bad. But no, I actually like station assault in this one. Yeah, let's go for station assault. Let's go for, I kind of like flyer lanes. I don't know if that's going to help me as much. We're not really built around objectives here, so I'm sometimes a fan of fleet ambush, but not in this particular list. Capture the VIP might be actually something fun to do with the Gladiator, except we want it to go after ships, not doing objective hunting. Planetary ion cannon is always a good one because it's not great, but it's always good. So I'll just go with that, kind of well-rounded. And since we talked about the station, you know what? Do we also have? We don't have that one here. We do have Doomed Station. That could be a fun one. It could be. Actually, I think Superior Positions is a really good one for this. We do have a lot of squadrons that can attack and do damage to the rear of enemy ships. So we'll go with Superior Positions. So we'll get some knowledge here. If we go with Station Assault, we'll kind of know where the battle's going to take place. Ion Cannon can't ever really be used against you. You just get to attack somebody with it, or maybe miss if they fly around it, but you can control where they go. And in Superior Positions, you get to deploy with full knowledge, and hopefully your little Sloan TIE fighters will be able to do some nasty stuff. Okay, guys, that is the list. I'm going to put it up here in a little print image, so now you can kind of see it there. And that's that. Whoa, that's too small. There we go. All right, guys. Well, let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to click the subscribe button, click the bell for alerts. And if you'd like to support the channel, there's plenty of merch, new stuff being added all the time in the description below. You'll see some pictures and links down to Patreon if you want to support the channel there. And I will talk to you guys later. I want to thank you so much. And as always, have a great day.